Hi, my name is Shaunti Bergen, and I have a question of the day for you. How many of you feel safe? I know during COVID that's a bit of a tough one when we're uncertain if we can even go to the grocery store. But in general, we can still pick up the phone, call an ambulance, call the police service, call the fire department, and they'll be at our door within minutes. This is something I have taken for granted, huge living in North America. But what about those underground potash mines across Saskatchewan? They don't have that same luxury. If a fire breaks out, they're stuck in bunkers for hours, if not days, until the smoke clears. Which doesn't make a lot of sense. So I decided to look into what causes these fires. And to start, a fire needs three things to burn: heat, oxygen, and fuel. Heat is going to happen when you're a mile below the Earth's surface. Oxygen, kind of going to need it. But the fuel, what's causing these huge fires to develop and stay burning? Turns out it's a highly flammable mineral fluid that's used in the hydraulic systems of these large miners that actually mine the potash. Kind of a big deal. So I started researching and looking into alternatives, and turns out there is synthetic fire-resistant hydraulic fluids that have been used extremely well to solve this problem in tons of different mines across the globe, but never a potash mine. And a potash mine has a very unique environment because it mines very fine dust that can easily get into the hydraulic system and cause a ton of issues. So we need to test it in a lab. So I made 4 identical hydraulic systems that mimicked the hydraulic system on the miners, just in a smaller form. The first one, I put the currently used mineral fluid as a baseline to compare against, and then I chose 3 fire-resistant hydraulic fluids and put them in the other 3. I ran them under cyclic loading conditions for 80,000 cycles, which took 200 hours to test. First test was no contamination, second was ideal amounts of potash contamination, and third was maximum potash contamination. And wouldn't you know it, in every case, one of the synthetic fire-resistant hydraulic fluids outperformed the mineral fluid, whether it was filter analysis, fluid samples, efficiency, performance data, geometric measurements, or your basic photos. This fire-resistant hydraulic fluid always showed greater promise than the currently used mineral fluid. This is incredible. Not only is the performance and efficiencies of the hydraulic system on these miners going to increase if this fluid is used, but the workers underground are going to know that if a spark flies from the ceiling or a hose breaks and sprays that fluid onto the hot surface, it's not going to cause a fire. They're going to get home safely to their families that night, and that is what's most important. Thank you.